Tonight, breaking news, the tornado emergency. Remnants of Hurricane Ida slamming the East Coast. The massive twister caught on camera. A trail of destruction as the extreme weather pushes into the Northeast. Heavy rain and deadly flooding. 56 million under alert. While in Louisiana, the new images of a community nearly wiped off the map. Long lines for gas, food, and water. Nearly 1 million still without power. Our correspondent with the governor. We ask him, how long will it last? Plus, California's raging Caldor fire exploding to more than 200,000 acres. The flames closing in on Lake Tahoe's famed resorts. Snowblowers now being used to fight the growing inferno. Also breaking tonight, the deadly high school shooting, the urgent manhunt, and what police just announced. New images of the Taliban parading captured U.S. military weapons and equipment. President Biden under fire for leaving Americans behind as we learn an interpreter who once helped rescue the president from Taliban territory years ago can't get out, now asking the president to return the favor. The new indictment 2 years after the death of Elijah McClain, a young unarmed black man, the charges police and paramedics face, and the CDC's new COVID travel warning just ahead of Labor Day.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. I'm Tom Llamas in for Lester. Tonight we start with breaking news. The dangerous storm system on the move. Remnants of Hurricane Ida hammering the East Coast. The new images of an apparent tornado ripping through Annapolis, Maryland. Tornado watches and warnings in effect from North Carolina to Maryland, including Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia. Torrential rain drenching the mid-Atlantic and Northeast at this hour. Students rescued from a school bus in Maryland after it became trapped in rising floodwaters. And overnight, waters also surging into an apartment in Rockville. A 19-year-old killed, at least one person still missing. And later, we'll tell you about millions more Americans facing extreme weather from the Gulf Coast to fire out west. NBC's Tom Costello starts us off tonight from Annapolis, Maryland.
Touching down in and around Annapolis, Maryland this afternoon, tornadoes on the ground for many miles after spinning off from Hurricane Ida that slammed Louisiana.
Please make sure you're inside. Please make sure you're in your lowest level of your house.
In downtown Annapolis, power lines and signs ripped down in front of businesses. In nearby neighborhoods, roofs torn off and trees uprooted. Meanwhile, in Frederick, Maryland, flash flooding caught a bus driver off guard. 11 school kids rescued as the bus was submerged. Throughout the day, Ida unleashing blinding lightning and torrential rain on the nation's capital. The D.C. metro area under flood warnings and a tornado watch well into the evening. Overnight, 3 inches of flash rain swamped the region, tearing down trees, flooding intersections, and trapping drivers in their cars. In Rockville, Maryland, hundreds were forced to flee their apartments at 4 a.m. when a swollen river sent a wall of water surging into garden-level apartments as people slept. Police say a 19-year-old man drowned in his apartment, unable to get out.
They are now advising that there may possibly be 2 more adults, and she believes they are underwater.
Firefighters used boats to pull people to safety. In all, 150 people displaced. 1 resident still missing.
These people went through a horrific tale out this morning.
Tonight, Ida continues to unleash tornadoes, dumping record amounts of rain as it marches up the eastern seaboard.
All right, and Tom joins us now from a very active scene. Tom, the damage there looks pretty extensive beyond just where you are.
Yeah, on both sides of the street, it extends for blocks. Houses have had their roofs ripped off. As you go down the street, you smell gas in the air from the open gas line breaks. Electrical lines are down. Firefighters and police trying to secure the scene. Amazingly, here, nobody was injured, Tom.
That is incredible. All right, Tom Costello leading us off on that breaking news. Tom, thank you. I want to bring in meteorologist Dylan Dreyer now. She's tracking the extreme weather for us tonight. Dylan, walk us through the next few hours and days.
Hey, Tom, so far the rain has been very, very heavy across Pennsylvania, back into Maryland. That's where we have our flash flood warnings right now because of the flooding potential. We also could see that flooding extend up into New England overnight. We are going to see an additional 5 inches of rain widespread across the Northeast with some storm totals as much as 10 inches of rain. The ground is already saturated, so that is why there is a huge flooding threat through the night. Also a tornado threat up until 10 p.m. tonight for the risk of very strong storms that could produce gusty winds as well. Tom.
All right, we'll keep our eye on that storm. We are also getting new images tonight of the devastation Ida left behind in Louisiana. The crisis there deepening. Residents, including the elderly, in a desperate scramble for basic supplies under that intense heat, and nearly 1 million still without power. Our Miguel Almaguer is there.
Tonight, this is the misery after the mayhem. The lines for basic services, food, fuel, water, and ice stretching for hours in communities where Ida's devastation is no match for its aftermath.
It's just hard. It's hard for everybody out here.
On a day where sweltering temperatures reach dangerous levels.
It's hot. It's hell. We have people in their 80s and 90s here. It's hot.
St. Martin Manor, a senior community in New Orleans, home to 150, is still in the dark. Disabled residents forced into the lobby as rooms easily top 100 degrees. 74-year-old Joanne Moss suffers from severe asthma. For 3 days, unable to power her breathing machine.
How much longer do you think you can last here?
I can't last. I can't.
Is this life and death for you?
Yes, it is.
Power across Louisiana is still out to roughly 1 million homes and businesses. Today, energy was restored to more than 11,000 in New Orleans, just a fraction of those in dire need. It could be weeks before the mangled, shredded power grid is restored. Today, our Morgan Chesky flew alongside the governor who toured the hardest-hit communities who were on an island and off the grid.
To the folks who are here, they'll be without power for more than a month.
Yeah.
What do you tell them?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm not certain that that's going to be true for everyone. We already saw some lights coming back on in New Orleans today. I think the momentum is going to build every day. But there are some places where the infrastructure is so devastated, particularly in Lafourche and Terrebonne Parish.
What do you tell those folks?
Well, we're going to do everything we can to help them.
For a region battered and bruised, the uninhabitable still face the unimaginable. Many coastal homes were swept into the ocean.
Ida made Katrina look like a warm summer breeze. Yeah, I was not anticipating. This is craziness.
Tonight, what's left of some communities, a painstaking reminder of what's gone.
And Miguel, because of what we just saw there in your report, we know the president will visit Louisiana on Friday. But before he arrives, there's troubling new warnings from officials.
Yeah, Tom, at least a dozen people have been hospitalized, including some children, some said to be in critical condition after carbon monoxide poisoning. Too many people without power inside their homes are running those portable gas-run generators far too close to their homes. Tom, back to you.
And those generators are everywhere. All right, Miguel, thank you. In the West tonight, another emergency is unfolding. California's massive Caldor fire. Firefighters are racing to keep the flames away from Lake Tahoe's resort. And tonight, also dealing with a COVID outbreak. Steve Patterson.